said.
It's all true.
Worst RFC ever. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 577. Jason could just edit that out where he talked over me. It's fine. We don't have Brian Kilby tonight. He's off on an adventure or something. We don't really care. We can get on fine without him. As we've proved for the last 5 minutes. So I'm Exvee taking over the hosting duties, and with me I have Jason Kirk as our producer this week.
Hello, everybody.
John DeLuna off screen as ever.
Yo.
Playing Street Fighter, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes. Short and to the point. You gotta love that about John. We also have Rob Clay.
Hi.
How's it going, Rob?
Not too bad. A little tired, otherwise good.
Cool. We have Matt, aka Melvar.
Hi.
Who I haven't seen like forever at this point, basically. Like it's been almost 48 hours since I've seen him. And of course we have Diecast with a pile of Taobao and waiting, I'm sure.
One big Taobao item.
Just the one?
Just the one from Taobao. That shipped by itself because it was so big.
Okay. So before we jump into the show, Brian would like me to remind you that we now have t-shirts available in various lovely designs by our own John DeLuna. You can find the t-shirt store at tfradio.net/shirts. John, would you like to tell us a little bit about our t-shirt offerings that we have?
Sure. Yes. Like Exvee said, you can get a link on our webpage at tfradio.net, or you can go to shirtsickle.com/tfradio. Or you can just go to shirtsickle.com because our shirts are on the homepage because they sell so well. So thank you, guys.
Nice.
Shirtsickle.com. You'll find a selection of different giant robot-inspired designs for us, by us. For you, too, you'll support the show by purchasing a sweet-looking T-shirt. And sizes go from small to at least 4X. So they're very accommodating, and they're made by the folks at Pro Wrestling Tees. And I say that because they make bajillions of T-shirts every year for pro wrestlers and other ventures. So they know what they're doing. It's a direct print application, so it's a very nicely done shirt. It lives up to the picture that you see on the website. So go to shirtsickle.com or tfradio.net. Check out the T-shirt store. Pick out something you like. We know you'll like it, and thanks for the support.
John, very important. On our next when do we get to add more shirts to the site? Is it soon?
I think we're one shirt away, which I know our listeners and viewers can help us out with, but we're like one shirt away before we get to go to round 2 of designs.
Ooh.
So the round 1's great. So there's some, so if you're a fan of the show, you can get a logo shirt with the show's logo. There's some other, like I said, some other cool robot collector-y kind of shirts that people have picked up and like. But yeah, we're only 1-2 shirts away from unlocking Wave 2, and we'll do another wave of designs and we'll add them to the store. So I've got some cool designs in the bullpen, and I know the guys on the crew have ideas too that we gotta get to. But yeah, so. Everybody supported the shirt shop so far really well, and we're really close to unlocking Wave 2, and we will hit that goal. And when we do, there'll be even more good shirts to choose from.
Can we get a
awesome.
Get Unicron Made shirt?
No.
Or just, a little # Get Unicron Made, like on one of the designs.
So what we need is a cartoon representation of Diecast's face with the caption # or hashtags.
Yes.
I want to do a weird mashup of Diecast face and Unicron's planet mode. So it's just like a free floating Diecast head with the weird like rings, Unicron rings, maybe the mandibles. This is the stuff of nightmares. I'm not going to sleep now that I'm picturing like some weird love child of a Diecast face grafted onto Unicron's planet mode. That's horrific, actually. So never mind.
Dear Lord.
I might give Diecast exactly what he asked for just so I can flush that image from my mind. But yeah, in summation, shirtsickle.com. Just go to shirtsickle.com. Like I said, you'll see us on the homepage because you guys have supported us and liked the shirts so much. So thanks.
And I'd just like to say that as of right now, we can add a new shirt.
Awesome.
Ooh, yay.
Nice.
Nice.
So I'll get on that. Anyway, this has become a very self-serving ad, but I'll get on it with Shirtsicle and see how many designs we can throw up there in addition. But anyway, I promise that you will like them. They're well done shirts. They look as good as they do on the website. Like I said, you support the show, you get a cool shirt. It's a win-win. So shirtsicle.com. Go now.
And I'm going to go ahead and just veto the whole idea of Diecast's Ego the Living Planet shirt. So you might also notice that Headmaster Don is not with us, and he wasn't here last week. So, of course, we have not had an episode of It's a Don Deal. But Don should be back to transform our podcast into an adventure next week. And so It's a Don Deal should be making a comeback. So make sure to start holding your questions. Build up a repository for us, because we will be looking to your submissions and to build out the next episode of It's a Don Deal very soon. So the show has not gone away, and it should be coming back in the very near future. So this is kind of breaking format, but I want to jump straight to this week in history because it's kind of an important moment for us in a couple ways. So almost to this very day, June 26, 2009, Radio Free Cybertron returns to a regular schedule after more than half a decade of regular updates. Just in time to review Revenge of the Fallen, I might add.
The best movie ever.
Oh, no. But the reason that this is especially important, besides the fact that it's, why you're all sitting here listening to me ramble on like this, this is also usually the episode every year where we take a moment to remember our late dear friend JD Church. And it's important to also just remember that without JD Church, RFC might not be here today, because it was his incessant nagging of Brian over Google Chat, however long ago, the summer of 2009, that ultimately resulted in, hey, let's bring RFC back, and eventually led to the assortment of characters you see before you now. So, without JD, none of this may have happened. None of our other podcasts have developed out of this. A lot of the friends that we have made, as we formed this group, there's so much that I think we owe to JD Church for inspiring this to come all together. And while we don't maybe have anything super new to say in memory of JD, like, his impact is so important to all of our lives at this point, and that's something we're never going to forget. It's been over 4 years now since we lost JD, and that just kind of blows my mind. Like, I didn't know him for a super long time, but he made such an impact every time I talked to him, especially after I stole him away from RFC to come work on Superhero Time with the rest of us, and also killed his comic book podcast for him. Those are my favorite JD memories. But yeah, what JD did for us is, there's no way to put a value on that. It changed all of our lives, honestly.
And I came on to RFC after JD was gone, unfortunately. Like, just the show in general, just watching it, and his presence is still felt on the show. I can tell from, just even from being involved with you guys and stuff. So he cast a long shadow, that's for sure. So
yeah, and deep. Okay, so let's jump right into this. So, did anybody get anything? And I think me and Matt should go first, because, boy, do we want to tell you about the JoeCon dealer room haul we had. Matt, do you want to start?
You're the host. You go ahead.
Okay, let me grab my first JoeCon thing here. Yeah, about that. So me and Matt did go to the final JoeCon this past weekend, and we walked around the dealer room for about 3 hours. Very, very packed dealer room. Healthy walk-in crowd that day. We had the interesting observation that, like, the majority of cosplayers we saw in the walk-in admission line. But yeah, as we walked around, even Matt, who actually cares about vintage G.I. Joe stuff to a far, far greater degree than I do, just couldn't find anything to buy.
No, it was.
No, that's not this. Go ahead.
It was pretty sad, really. I mean, I do have an appreciation for G.I. Joe. That and Transformers were the two big things, you know, in my childhood growing up. There's a couple things that I went maybe looking for, but I really couldn't find anything I was looking for. A lot of the booths were, you know, the same stuff here and there, like it just repeat stuff. It was all mostly older stuff too. Like not even a lot of the personally I couldn't find much of the Fun Pub subscription stuff. But I don't know, but it was really weird and kind of telling, you know, about the way this convention's run, that we were in the general admission line. We did not register. We went, and there were people in serious cosplay, and I mean like really well done stuff. And there were a lot of them, and they were in the general admission line. They would not register for this convention.
Now that's not to say that we didn't buy a lot of stuff during the trip.
Oh yeah.
So I want to kick off with what will end up having been my final ever purchase from a Toys R Us, which is this Mega Bloks Destiny set, which is, I guess this is a giant robot of some sort. I've never actually played the game, but the stuff looks cool. So I got this from one of the Toys R Us's we visited for like $6.50, I think, which that seemed a pretty good deal. I got a second one for Rob.
Wow.
Because he likes his Destiny stuff too.
Yes.
So yeah, that's literally the last thing I will ever purchase from a Toys R Us, because if they're not already any that are left, close on Friday.
Yep.
Sadness. We'll
Like
talk a little bit more
end-of-day
about
Friday?
that in a minute. Yeah, I assume end of the day Friday.
Okay. So one more business day.
But you know, I don't think it's really going to make a difference based on what we saw them have left. Now, I think the most we saw at a Toys R Us of any one thing by volume was the Power Rangers movie Tyrannosaurus Zords. Where at one of them we saw no fewer than 3 separate packed stations full of those stupid things.
Yeah.
Wow.
Followed closely by the Lionfire Fortress Sword from Super Ninja Steel.
Yeah, that stuff's gonna be at Ollie's before you know it. Let's see. Oh, okay. So you might remember last week I made reference to a Star Trek novel about Garrick written by Andrew J. Robinson. Well, I found a copy of that at a bookstore in Chattanooga while we were
Awesome.
there.
Nice.
$3.
Oh, good.
I've read the book before, but I'm glad to actually like own a physical copy of it now. Also, at one of the flea market / antique malls we went to, I just randomly found this other book that I had read before. This is the Kobayashi Maru. I read this when I was a teenager. I think I got out of the library at that point. I really enjoyed it, so that was also a fun find. And of course, I can't go to an antique mall without just buying a pile of old Star Trek figures. So I have Counselor Troy as Counselor Durango. A Dr. Bashir. Let's see what else we have here. And my first 2 like main cast DS9 figures, Kira and Odo.
Did they transform?
Well, on the show, Odo transforms into goo, but I don't think the toy does that unless you apply a lot of heat. In terms of stuff that's actually more on topic, well, there's a Trypticon over there somewhere off screen that Matt picked up for me at one of his Ollies, which I have not really had the motivation to open yet. He also picked up the Wave 2 Dinobots for me a little while back, so I have those now.
Awesome.
Not super impressed.
Nice.
So Snarl feels better than Center Twin does. They share like a basic engineering structure, so it's a little bit better, but I'm still not super thrilled with either of them. It seems like Slag and Swoop were probably the best out of the whole Dinobot set, and Slash, but you know. Let's see. Oh, I got this for a good price off of Twitter before the trip. This is the Legends Weirdwolf with the Headmaster's accurate head sculpt and the little yellow ape face vehicle thing.
Yeah, I love that.
So I got that for about the same price that a Hasbro Weirdwolf originally cost. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. And
Oh yeah.
so I got the alternate head sculpt now and also a spare Weirdwolf body for the event of whenever one of these ends up cracking its cockpit hinge, because that's just basically inevitable as far as I understand.
Yeah.
I also got Robots in Disguise Bludgeon from Matt. I really like this. This is up there with the best of the Robots in Disguise warrior figures. So it's my understanding this is a heavy retool of Megatronus.
Yes.
I never had that figure, so I don't know like how they compare in terms of how the engineering was executed on them. But like this is really, really nice and almost makes me want to go back and find a Megatronus at some point. I don't regret not picking up Blastwave because those colors were still damn ugly.
Yeah, Megatronus was a great figure.
And then, of course, I did find an Inferno, and eventually did buy a second one on Diecast's behalf.
Thank you.
After teasing him about it relentlessly.
I was like, I answered right back. How could you not have saw that before he left the store?
Yeah, I was really hoping it was going to take you like 5 or 6 minutes to actually reply to that and not be 45 seconds. That made it a little bit more difficult. But like, when I started thinking about it, I was just like, no, that actually makes the joke funnier.
Although
if only you could have seen us
through my
laughing in
head,
that
I was like,
Target.
either he's messing with me or it was bad reception, and like it didn't send until he got out of the store.
Although I could totally see Chris like checking out, getting right to the door of Walmart and be like, oh, I should probably tell Diecast that was there and just walk out the door.
Yeah, that is totally me. That's totally me. So I think that oh yeah, we went to a Hobbytown USA that's closing, and I bought my first Gundam kit in like 20 years. So it's the new Kapool kit from the Gundam Build Divers series, which it might be hard to tell is vaguely penguin themed.
I was gonna say that does not look like a Gundam.
Well, no, this is not specifically a Gundam, but it is a Gundam kit.
Oh, okay.
It's a Kapool. It's different.
Not every
It's a
mobile suit is a Gundam.
But all Gundams are mobile suits.
Pretty much.
Except for the B Gundam, which is a ball.
And the Psycho Gundam, which is a mobile armor.
Yes.
You
This
nerds.
has been your Gundam content for the day.
Is there a
Still
quiz?
confused.
Matt, do you want to go next? Because I know you have a comparably sized haul to mine.
Sure. So, I found a couple Mega Bloks figures. I got Chris picked me up Commander Data, and he found me Faker from
Oh,
Masters of the Universe.
I want Data so bad.
I also advised him to pick up a couple of spare figures and make a custom Star Trek figure out of them.
Yes.
Ooh.
I have a Vulcan, yes, in yellow form, in support. Yeah.
Operations.
Nice.
Okay. So at GameStop, I found Zeo Rangers 1 and 2. So I was able to complete my very, very flimsy Zeo Megazord.
Yeah, those Megazords are terrible.
Bandai.
If you get
Well,
hot,
you
you
don't
go like
worry
this
about
and
the
it'll cool you
Megazord.
off.
And that's all really I have not Transformers related. So now we'll move on to, topical stuff. So tfradio.net/shirts.
That's what I got.
Nice.
My 2 shirts came in yesterday in the mail. So
Excellent.
Did you get the soft or the not soft?
I think I just got the standard. I'll try the soft on my next order.
Is
You
it
got the burlap?
soft? Does it feel rough, or are they still like decent?
Oh, they still feel pretty decent.
Oh, cool.
Okay, moving along. I got one Prime Master Crown landmine because I am convinced that Submarauder is a thing that does not actually exist anywhere.
There's
And
so many Walmarts trying to find those.
I've searched across 5 states now:
Wow.
Maryland, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia, and I could not find a Submarauder anywhere.
Wow.
Anybody who says different is just lying to me. I'm convinced of this now. Not real. It's not real. It's a trick.
How'd you pull off that live Photoshop job,
for
Chris?
our audio listeners, I did hold up a Submarauder to the camera just to taunt Matt.
How did you get that one?
I got that one from Kroger before our trip to Charlotte. And I've never bothered to open it because that's just the kind of collector I am.
So we did met up with Hey Mickey and hit a couple of antique malls and such. And I picked up a Dino Pope set, Power Core Combiners.
Nice.
Excellent.
Did you have that before?
No, I did not.
It's just probably one of the best Power Core Combiners sets.
That and Steam Hammer, yeah.
I had plenty of opportunity, years ago to pick them up and just never did. But because of the Pope hat, I completely just went ahead and picked them up. It was decently priced. I also found a Revenge of the Fallen lockdown.
For a really good price.
Yes. And
it was like $15 on card.
Mm-hmm. And a $15 Pterodive, because I just like that mold, really.
That is a good mold.
And that's what, a 2010 figure?
Yeah.
Sure.
And his Trident has succumbed to gold plastic syndrome already.
Oh, no.
Oh,
wow.
What Space Cases isn't that color?
Yeah. Much sadness there.
Space Case was very hard to find.
I didn't have a problem.
It was
And
hard for me.
while I was gone in the mail from Big Bad Toy Store, I got Mastermind Thunderclash. And he is pretty great. I have noticed a stress mark, though, on his backpack, which causes me a little concern. I think I did it when I was trying to transform him and pressed a little too hard trying to get parts to sit together correctly. So that's something to watch out for. And with that came Grand Maximus and all of his glory. I have Grand Max now.
do you two
You
need
have
a
to
minute?
stick her in.
And I picked up a couple of extra things for customization purposes if I ever build up that kind of
Motivation?
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Another Inferno to make a Headmaster cab, since
That's
parts
the third
do
now.
exist. Since parts do exist for that. Yeah, but we saw easily 24 of these things everywhere we went, and I saw
That's
more.
why they're not making
on
it
the
to the
trip
East
home.
Coast. You're buying them all before they get here.
I don't think they
It was
migrate.
on the East Coast. We never left the East Coast. And another Starscream because he makes a fine-looking Leo Zack if you ever paint him.
And Target had Voyagers for a couple dollars off regular price this weekend. So
And
Oh.
I did
nice.
somebody a favor buying that one because it was the last Voyager there. So
you think you did someone a favor, but that just means that Target's not going to have any Voyagers at all for the next 3 or 4 months instead of just having a Starscream for the next 3 or 4 months.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I failed to see the difference.
Yeah, pretty much.
I also got a couple more paints from that hobby shop and a pair of sprue cutters, which the hobby shop was going.
Interesting adventure.
Yeah, the hobby shop was going out of business, so I asked if they had any sprue cutters available, and the guy kind of looked behind the counter and he went, "Yeah, I don't know whose these are, but I'll sell them to you for $1." So I have somebody's sprue cutters. So that will come in handy for model kits in the future, and that just about does it, I think.
Are you sure? Don't want to leave anything out now.
Okay, fine. If I'm getting Leo Zack, I got another beachcomber to do Jaruger.
Oh.
Jugular.
And that should be it. Yes.
Diecast?
Yeah, I got one small thing from Taobao. Been waiting for it for a while. It was on pre-order for the next run of figures. And it's the Toyworld Yellow Devastator box set, which is quite
Yeah, it's
a
pretty
big
small.
box. Yeah, it's
Wow.
very nicely packaged, very nicely boxed, very heavy. He's gonna be a big figure, pretty sure.
Are you going to do a video of that?
I'm not sure. I might. It's so big, and people have seen it 1,000 times already if they were interested in it. So, but One nice thing about living where I do, people know this, that I'm very close to Hasbro Toy Shop. So when something goes up, I get it like next day. So I got Outback, I got Cindersaur, and I got another Cindersaur, just because, you know, it's a good mold, and I had to get over the free shipping. So the extra Cindersaur got me over the free shipping, because I got a Spider-Man with it too. So that was pretty much all I got this week.
Well, that's a light week for you.
Yeah.
At least by parts count, if not like, you know, gross tonnage.
Yeah, but by tonnage, I mean, if you count the individual bots, there's 6 individual bots plus the Hasbro Toy Shop stuff.
Jason, what do you got this week?
Sure, I actually have stuff for 2 weeks in a row. Lucky me. First, I got my second ever SH Monster Arts. This is the 2002 Godzilla from Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla. And Mechagodzilla's on pre-order, so I'll be getting him someday. One small Transformers thing. I did get the re-release of the Iron Factory Windblade, so this is in the Combiner Hunters colors.
With the extra sword, too.
Yeah, with the extra sword. And she's lovely. Simple transformation, simple little figure, but she just kind of sits on my desk and looks at me, and it makes me happy. So I like how she's kind of, her face is kind of designed like on the Legends, like Sakamoto from the Legends comics, which I'm happy with that.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And finally, I got, after waiting for a while and Diecast giving me tons and tons of crap for it, I got my trailer for Nemesis Prime, the Fans Hobby version.
All right.
Oh, look at no stickers.
Well, so they do include stickers that are actually done by Jeff Sr. and they look amazing.
But they're not for the toy you have.
Right. It sucks. It really sucks because these are great stickers. I love them. But if I put on this trailer, it's not going to make any freaking sense.
I think what you
Nice.
need to do, then is buy a second trailer to house your stickers.
And I'd probably have to get a second figure to go with that trailer then, wouldn't I?
Yeah, Gunfighter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't
See, you've already got this all figured out.
Right. I don't see what the problem is here, Jason.
don't think the gears haven't been turning for a couple of days now.
Well,
These stickers are that good.
We're trying to grease the gears here for you, Jason. And boy, that sounds wrong when I actually say it.
Well, in true Kilby fashion, I already did buy one thing on the show, the shirt, so I'm good there. But yeah, I'll probably, if I see them on sale, it's almost a given. But I will keep an eye out for like maybe another Gunfighter 2. So we'll see. But it's for just being a trailer. I got it. I put it out, took it out of the box, and just sat at my desk, looked at it like this is awesome. So I love trailers apparently, so I'm happy with it.
Rob, I know you got some stuff for your birthday, which was just a few days ago. Happy birthday, Rob.
oh, thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you much. But yeah, I got a few things. Mark Alley sent me Titans Return Slugslinger, which is a really nice figure. Thank you, Mark. I can kind of see why people are not as like big on it as, you know, as trigger happy, because the engineering is definitely simpler compared to that, but it is still really solid and looks really good in both modes, and just it's a really, really nice toy. I'm happy with that. Somebody, and the package did not say who, sent me Thermidor and Robots in Disguise Power Surge Optimus Prime. And Thermidor is every bit as good as everybody said. The one thing you have to watch out for, I learned, is that there are tiny little, almost imperceptible channels in the torso to store the antennae in vehicle mode. If you don't know they're there, you may just put them wherever and they may get crimped, so watch out for that. But the good news is if they came slightly warped in the package, it will gradually straighten them back out, which seems to be what's happening for me. Power Surge Prime is, from what I've seen of the larger version of that design, probably the best way to get that design if you want it. I'm still convinced there was some intentional callbacks to Machine Wars Optimus Prime in that design, and it's, you know, a very simple toy, but pretty solid. I'm happy with that. let's see, for my birthday, Angel, my brother's girlfriend, got me Star Wars: The Last Jedi and Tron on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
Since as you know, as I pointed out on the Amazon wish list, there are basically two ways people react to Tron. You saw it when you were 3 and you loved it, or you didn't and you fall asleep during it. There is no in between. So
I'm category 2.
Yep. Since I'm one of the people who really loves that movie, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing that in the best possible quality. I went out and got myself a Mega Bloks Ninja Turtles set that showed up at Ross for $6. It's the one with Krang's android body, and that is just marvelous for $6. That is a solid figure. And you know, as I think you mentioned when you found one, Chris, the die-cast shells do not do the Ninja Turtles any favors, but at least they come with stands. And of course, also this week I got the limited edition of New Gundam Breaker with the model kit, and haven't built the model kit yet, but that is definitely a video game. But
I assume you mean that in a positive way.
That is definitely a video game. But the best thing I got this week is my brother has gotten into bookbinding, and he made me a hand-bound notebook using Star Wars cloth that basically looks a lot like a set of Star Wars sheets we had when we were kids. And for one thing, he is really getting good at this, and for another, just, you know, the amount of time that went into that is just staggering. It's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So that's pretty much everything I got this week, I do believe.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that bookbinding project for some weeks now.
I can believe it. I will get a photo when I can. I want to get a good photo, and I'm not set up for a good photo because, of course, that involves unplugging my air conditioner for various electrical outlet locations in my home reasons.
Yes. John, did you get anything this week?
Nah, I ordered stuff, but it won't be here until next week, so I'll have stuff to say next week.
Well, I mean, usually when Don orders stuff, he just goes ahead and tells us what he ordered. And since Don's not here, you could just go ahead and fill the gap by telling us what you ordered.
And then he tells us about it again when he gets it.
Yes.
So let's see here. What did I get? Oh, well, I ordered the stuff, the Wave 2 stuff that went online on Hasbro Toy Shop. So I got, what was it? Rodimus Unicronus, Rodinus, Rodicrom, whatever. Unirod. Let's not use that one. And then let's see, Outback and Cindersaur. So I picked up those 3 for what felt like still too much money, but it was fine. So I mean, I'll take it. I'll take the sure thing, I guess. But man, Outback and Cindersaur are effectively $10 a piece, and Rodimus, evil Rodimus, whatever. He was 50.
Yeah,
45, 50, yeah, something like that. So add shipping on top of that. It's a spicy meatball. But anyway,
shouldn't the shipping have been free since it was over $49?
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, that my bad. But yeah, it was still not the best.
Not great.
When
not great. No.
I felt dirty. But anyway, I should.
It didn't feel that great to me either. I ordered Outback and Cindersaur Monday night myself, and even using a discount code, it was still like $26 after tax and shipping, and that still felt like I'm saving gas. I'm saving gas. I have it sooner than Big Bad Toy Store. I'm saving gas. I'll have them tomorrow though, so proof of concept right there.
John, I hate to correct you,
boy.
and I can understand how you would have made this mistake. And spoilers, but Rodimus Unicronus is really Unicron.
What?
Yes, from the Machinima series.
You know what? That's perfect, because Diecast, now you have a Unicron, and we can drop this whole get Unicron made.
Yes,
thing.
You got your Unicron made. Congratulations.
He is Unicron in the show when he evolves into the Rodimus Unicronus. That they say that he is Unicron, and then Unicron fights Megatronus. And
so apologies to our live stream audience who may have gotten spoiled by that and didn't want to hear that yet, although I can't imagine anybody cares about the show
I said
that much.
spoilers.
I can't feel bad.
We might as well finish out the episode real quick because
hang up on him.
Can
on
you
As they were-
you said spoilers, or you were like,
Thank you.
Oh,
I think he
bless
just said
you,
he was
sir,
going to
bless
correct
you.
me.
best
to be
producer
fair-
ever.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think he said spoiler alert. I think he just said he was going to correct me, and his
No, I
correction
said
was a
He
spoiler.
said spoilers. He did.
Oh, you did?
yeah.
I mean, I can
Oh.
edit it out in post, but he didn't say it.
When you dropped that bombshell, I just forgot like what came right before that.
And
My
then
mind was
Optimus
blown.
Primal grabbed
Hang
the
up on him.
Matrix and became what's the
Optimal
upgrade?
Optimus.
Optimal Optimus.
Susan Blue turned into a
Well,
golden
that would
girl.
get,
He
that would get
became-
Don back on board.
He became Headmaster RC. Yeah. So that was the
Some-
episode.
It's as if somewhere a million dawns cried out and suddenly were silenced.
So we got that
Yeesh.
Machinima episode breakdown in the show.
Joy.
Right, that's over.
And we got to hang up on Diecast, so you know.
And I didn't hang up on the whole call.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's gonna make the recordings easier to deal with later.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big news this week, which we alluded to a little bit earlier, the final shutdown of U.S. Toys R Us stores happens this week. Most stores in the U.S. will be closing down on June 29th. Some may have already closed down. Me and Matt saw different time of deaths posted for different stores that we visited, but it seems like the 29th is going to be the majority shutdown date. And that's just very sad to me, almost as sad as the state of the Toys R Us stores we visited over the past weekend with all their many, many large unwanted Power Rangers toys.
You know, I
Gee.
have not gone to one of these since the closing was announced, and I think at this point I probably wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I was even reflecting on that with Matt. Like, none of the Toys R Us's around here are ones that I associate with my childhood. Like, those are all the ones that are in the Chicago suburbs, a lot of which I think closed years ago anyway. But, like, it's not as hard for me to deal with this going to ones I more associate with, like, my own adult mobility, going to do my toy shopping on my own. Like, you know, it's not like a nostalgic memory for me going to any of these places. And I think if I had to see the ones from my childhood shut down and be in this state, it'd be a lot more of an emotional blow to me. But like, this is more like, oh, please just go ahead and lock the doors. Don't prolong the suffering. This is enough.
Yeah.
It's enough. This horse is dead already. Stop hitting it.
Although,
And all-
as you said, walking around Toys R Us, at least around me, within the last week, I guess is the last time I visited one, I couldn't help but think, did Bandai kill Toys R Us? Because that is the only thing left in the stores is, like you said, like the red T-Rex.
Yeah.
They must have made 1 million of those things. And that other Toys R Us exclusive thing in that box that's really big. I have no idea. what
Lion
it is.
Lion Fire
Fortress.
Fortress Zord. Yeah.
Yeah, that. Oh, I'm like,
You know what I'm surprised wasn't there was the big gift set version of the movie Megazord.
yeah, my stores only had like, even towards the end, like 1 or 2. They didn't
Which
have
were
as
probably
much.
the 1 or 2 they had when they first got them too.
Yeah, yeah, there wasn't a much quantity as them, so they did go around here about 2 weeks ago.
I really liked that movie, but the production design was horrible. It was
It was not
Hideous.
good for toys
No.
for a variety of reasons. But what's interesting is that even as Toys R Us is shutting down this week, we've got word now that Party City, of all places, is looking to fill some of that void with new pop-up toy stores for the holiday season.
Would they call it Toy City?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's actually what it says in the article, yeah.
Oh wow.
Not sure if that's a good or bad thing from his reaction.
Yeah, so
Well, they can't
right
do
now,
Kitty City, so I figured Toy City would be the
or
next
Child
best.
World. Both of those were actually toy stores in the early 90s, late 80s, around
Oh.
there. So, but yeah, so Party City right now is looking to launch 50 of these pop-up Toy City toy stores as soon as September. to try to get in some of the toy market back for the holiday season. Of course, they're not the only ones trying to capitalize on what's going on right now. There is that whole KB Toys pop-up store initiative that's supposed to be happening for the holiday season as well. And I think Party City is doing the same thing, where they're looking at possibly turning these into permanent locations after the holiday season if the performance is good enough. But as with all such plans, that's going to be a major wait and see kind of thing. Yeah. What really kind of struck me, though, was in the CNBC article, one of the Party City executives was quoted as saying that, yeah, even with Toys R Us closing now, we expect to see 70 to 80% of the toy market recover in the next year or two.
Oh, good.
And I just, well, okay, you say good just based on the surface of that, but I can't help but read that and think like, wow, that is some extremely optimistic thinking right there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, it's not a guarantee, that's for sure.
It's not a guarantee. I don't even think it's probable.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I have a much more pessimistic view on all this, but at the same time, I'm probably going to turn out to be right. But yeah, so like, there are entities right now that are trying to keep the toy business alive for one reason or another, to one extent or another, even as Toys R Us has its final death roll here. I also saw a vague report I haven't looked into much deeper just come up today that someone is trying to obtain the Toys R Us branding, which I guess it goes to auction in the next month or so. I'm going to try to obtain that and actually work toward reviving the store brand in some capacity after that point. If that goes anywhere, who knows? It's going to hinge entirely on can they secure the rights to the name and the branding in the short term, rather than keep it from someone who's just like, we're going to Harmony Gold this so nobody else can ever use it again.
Yeah.
Harmony Gold is a verb now, in case you weren't aware. Actually, it has been for a long time. Okay, so with that depressing big news out of the way, and, you know, possibly a little bit of silver lining, let's get into the regular news, which is still fairly brief this week. Not quite as brief as last week. We should probably only be here for about 2 hours. So the good news is Power of the Primes Deluxe Wave 3 is hitting Walmart stores in the U.S. right now. We've got reports from Ohio, New York, and Texas that I can think of off the top of my head, where the second set of Terracons and, of course, the reship of Jazz have all been cited in stores. So they're making their way around in the distribution system. That's a pretty wide area to shotgun across, so they should be turning up in more locations as shelf space permits. Unfortunately, in my travels recently, I've seen a lot of Wave 1 refill also taking up space at Walmart, so that's probably going to take a little bit to actually work its way through.
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Although the way the Grimlocks and Infernos kind of came rushing through too, I mean, who knows? Walmart did take steps to clear out their Voyager backlog, but at the same time, it seems like Walmart's distribution is finally starting to get back in order and actually get new stuff pushed through. So we might be seeing this stuff sooner than we expect to on a wide scale.
Yeah, maybe Hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised this weekend or something. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully the Wave 3 Prime Masters don't filter out into Walmart too soon, so there's still time for people who need the Wave 2 ones to actually pick some of those up.
Yeah.
Although Matt has decided that Sub Marauder doesn't even exist anymore, so I guess there's only just the one to pick up. Yeah, so we have our first actual pictures of Special Edition Blastoff and Megatronus. We have in-box and out-of-package images of the exclusive from... these came from Robot Kingdom's Facebook. So what this is showing appears to be that you can configure Blastoff to have either the cartoon-accurate shuttle chest or the more toy-accurate combiner peg chest, which is what was used for... I only know by the Robots in Disguise named Movor in the Baldigus set. But what we can see here too is that they've added some more of the old sticker tampagraphs on. So this is going to be visibly distinctive from the Unite Warriors Blastoff, for better or worse.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Why did they go with Megatronus? I mean, we're getting him in the Wave 3 Prime Master
this is a special clear plastic version.
with paint on it.
With paint on it, except for the backpack piece, which is clear now, so it looks kind of glowy.
Okay. Because you can see in the up-close pictures of Megatronus, his hands are still the clear reddish and his knees, but they painted the thighs gray and the arms gray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't want the whole thing to be clear, and the whole thing can't be clear because I think there's a sprue on there that has to be nylon. So
yeah, you think they would have just did it the way they did Megatronus in my hands, which is gray plastic for the thighs and the arms, and then just did the back piece clear, which is a separate piece. But
it's the back piece has to be gang molded to something else. Like it's it's only a couple of different trees of plastic. So if the backpack's going to be clear, something else on it has to be clear also.
All right, let me see.
Here's a question though, because this uses its Unite Warrior hand-foot piece. Where do you put it?
In your pocket.
Yep.
Yeah, so glad we're getting those hand-foot pieces again. Those are so much fun.
That's a pretty good point though, because there's not a socket in the hand-foot piece, which that also must be gang molded to blast off if they're using that one instead of replacing it with one of the newer ones. And there's no foot pegs on that because it's a Unite Warriors mold. So yeah, there's pretty much no way for Megatronus to interact apparently.
Hang on, do I see an indentation on Blastoff's vehicle mode back, or has that always been there?
That's probably always been there. Which picture?
The package back.
Oh yeah, there is definitely an indentation there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's one that's going to fit anything, but it just,
Let's see.
It's the first thing I thought of.
I can't get Blastoff down easily. It's on the shelf on the wall behind me. I would be surprised if they actually made any mold changes for this.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be totally against the whole concept here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish it had a little more paint in vehicle mode. It just seems like the nose should have more.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a decent toy hacks for this, so maybe something to look out for.
Yeah, the nose should have more paint, considering that the art on the front panel shows it being like black or dark brown.
Yeah. As to your question, Diecast, as to why it has a Prime Master we already had instead of one of the missing 3, I'd say probably because this was planned before they knew the line was going to be 6 months shorter than they expected.
No, yeah,
quite possibly. But yeah, if people were concerned about having to get just a straight rerun or anything like that, there are deco differences on this at least to maybe help justify getting this one in addition if you already have the Unite Warriors set.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to come down to really how you feel about the G1 sticker detail tampagraphs. I'm not a fan.
No, no.
I think they work a lot better on Slugslinger than it looks like it's going to work there.
Yeah, I'd say you're right about that.
I really hope. And did they say we're getting away from stickers for the next?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's just terrible.
They're done. They heard us.
I mean, from what we could interpret from what they were saying, the stickers seemed to be a specific thing they were doing because it essentially reminded them of the original toys. And since the next line is going to be pre-G1 War for Cybertron stuff, they're not going to be aping old toy designs, so it doesn't necessarily make sense to have the stickers on there to recreate that look and feel of classic toys.
Thank goodness.
I know, right?
They'll be aping old cartoon designs instead.
Hey, if they don't have stickers on them, I mean, that's an immediate step up.
Yes, that's true.
That is a win.
Yes, maybe we'll see some of this in 3 weeks.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or
we still didn't get the exclusives yet. those should be hitting any day. Like we should know about those any
The
day.
STCC exclusives are usually revealed like a week or so before STCC starts.
Okay.
Like there's not a huge lead time on that.
So another week
Unfortunately.
or so. Week or two.
Like if you want advanced information, the best thing we could hope for is a Weibo leak. And at this point, we're so close, I'd rather just wait and have it be a surprise from Hasbro.
Except
Yeah,
for Power
same
Ranger
here.
stuff, which we already know about because Bandai just doesn't care anymore.
Yes.
Yes. Also, a
Most
nice
of-
set of Gokus while they were announcing things.
Most of the other brands will tend to reveal their exclusives farther ahead. And sometimes we'll actually pre-sale them online for like the 30 seconds before they exhaust their quantities. I'm kind of glad that's not a thing we have to deal with.
Yeah.
No, we just have to wait
interest-
weeks after to be able to.
An interesting thing that Don observed this afternoon, Amazon's listings for Blastoff, Counterpunch, and Repugnance are all now producing 404 pages on Amazon.
Oh, they're canceled.
Mhm.
No!
They got hacked by Russians.
No, that's Rob Springer's site. In jokes nobody else understands. Anyway, I don't think the listings going off Amazon really means anything. It might point to that these are going to launch sometime fairly soon, and Hasbro is starting to pay attention to what Amazon's doing with them. Is just like, no, those aren't supposed to be up yet. Go hide those. Hide those.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
But they've been up for 6 months. Hide them. Hide them.
Yeah.
Oh, here, I know Matt cares so much about this. MP-43 Beast Wars Masterpiece Megatron and Figure King magazine accessories revealed. And we also have a follow-up to that with high-resolution scans from Figure King magazine, including Megatron, the new Masterpiece Convoy, the Golden Lagoon exclusives, and some other stuff that doesn't really matter that much. So Megatron's accessories. I wrote an article on T-Formers a while back that was speculating about this. And the only one of the things that came true from my speculation is probably my favorite one, the toothbrush.
Yes.
So they actually designed Masterpiece Megatron to emulate one specific scene from late in the first season, where it's before the storm, I think, like 3 episodes to the end of the season, and the scene is Megatron sitting in his quarters brushing his dinosaur hand's teeth, but there is an animation error in that scene, and he's missing almost all of his beast mode kibble. Well, all the beast mode kibble can be removed from the Masterpiece toy so that you can have it look like that animation error scene while he's brushing his dinosaur hand's teeth.
I bet this
Yeah.
also
The
makes
most-
it easier to fit into a smaller box for shipping. It's a feature!
It's the most amazingly Takara move I can think of. So the other accessories, we saw the beam effect attachment for the dinosaur hand in our first color image, actually, which was in a handout flyer from Tokyo Toy Show. It also comes with some attachment parts for Masterpiece Dinobots stand, so you can pose Megatron hoisting Dinobot in the air by his head. And it comes with a rifle, which had a few people confused. It's actually one he used in the episode Call of the Wild when they're out doing the hunt for the Maximals that turn feral. So another like very specific one episode thing. And in the magazine scans too, they actually call back to that because there's the one picture of Masterpiece Primal holding Megatron up over his head, which is from that episode. So it's not a huge assortment of accessories. There's also some option faces, but I'm actually pretty entertained with the things they did choose. And I mean, they include the toothbrush. I mean, of all the things, that's probably the one stupid accessory I wanted to see the most.
Congratulations.
The Golden Lagoon stuff is basically the same pictures we saw before. They've got like reference screenshots in there too. There's not a whole lot more interesting in the Figure King magazine scans. We do have in the next item in the show notes here the prototype pictures of Masterpiece Convoy version 3, which are like clear direct looks at that. Those were also reproduced in Figure King, but we can see them in isolation here in a little bit better quality. It's still looks pretty good to me. I still think it's going to be really expensive when we finally get the price.
Yep.
I think the Dengeki Hobby page actually did point to a release in 2019 for this. So we're probably, I would estimate we're probably a year off from the release of this at this point.
I think this is probably going to be MP-45, not 50, as we were speculating earlier.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, Masterpiece. This isn't fans' toys. They don't, preview stuff 8 years ahead of when they're actually expecting their release date. Generally, when we see a Masterpiece, and like especially prototype pictures, it's because it's coming up really soon.
Yeah, I would think February-ish for this, but that would just be my guess.
They do sometimes do large masterpieces at that point in the year.
Yeah.
Plus, next year would be the 35th anniversary, and what better time to release an Optimus Prime?
Oh yeah.
I think it's sometime between January and March, if I had to guess. There's a meme going around Japanese Twitter though that is just great because it's MP1 with a picture from Transformers the movie, high detail, very glossy. It's MP10 with a slightly less fancy glossy looking picture from the movie, and then this one next to just a random cell from any old episode.
Nice.
And it kind of fits, and just in terms of just the head sculpt in particular, which is just weird.
So it'd be kind of like getting a master grade RX-78 based on that one Gundam cell.
Yes. Oh man, I would love that.
It's basically what they're going for, which again references nobody but us will understand. And by nobody but us, I mean the two of us.
Yes, and because when most
I'm
people
the
think
best podcast host.
The worst part is most people are going to think of that one Gundam cell where it's the head is just sunken into the chest, not the one that is entirely cubist.
I love that one.
I know.
I'm interested to see.
You're really not.
How much this is going to be and how much the other Optimus Prime in this design aesthetic is going to be. What is that Mastermind that's doing this, or
Magic Square?
Magic Square, because that'll be pretty interesting to see.
What's going to be okay? So the deciding thing between those is if Magic Squares is going to have a trailer by default. Which I would not be surprised if it omits that. I can't remember if that was in the prototype photos for that or not off the top of my head.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
We know already this has a trailer associated with it, which that and the pricing trend for masterpieces lately is making me think this is going to push higher than our current top tier level.
That's scary.
Hopefully not. That's just what my instincts are telling me at this point. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be costly one way or another, and yeah, Magic Square might beat it out in price, but there is also kind of a gulf in how they're interpreting the style between them. So I don't really want to say one could be an adequate substitute for another, because if it's not checking just the right boxes, it might as well not be there.
Right. I just have there's a couple gaps that I'm not really liking on this, at least in prototype stage. And then it looks like if you look at the top of the window in robot mode, it looks like the top of his chest is actually sunken down. Like the windows stick up further than the top of his chest, which kind of, I don't know. I'm going to have to see it in person, maybe see some more color shots, but there's designs of this that I'm worried about.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna play better in color, because when we see these gray prototypes, every detail aspect of it is greatly exaggerated for good and bad. The color often smooths things out significantly and really improves the appearance. Although sometimes, we see prototypes for stuff in the gray like this, and it's like, oh, that looks amazing. Look at all the detail on that, and then the color one comes out. It's just like, what happened? Hopefully that doesn't happen with this, but
Yeah.
Yeah, going for a 2019 release, I can't think of a well-placed toy show that color picture or color prototype could debut at before like Winter Wonder Fest, which would be January. And I think that's way too far out. So this might be something that we see first in Figure King in like October or something in color.
I can see that.
Unless Rob can somehow pull out of the air a toy show of some note that'll be happening sometime this fall.
Not off the top of my head.
There's just so many, you can't really keep an active list of them in your head. It's impossible. It's literally impossible.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move into some third-party stuff. I hope you like Red Alert. So, Magic Square unofficial Legend Scale Sideswipe and Red Alert shown with new color photos. We'd previously seen a gray prototype of the Lamborghini body. And now we've got color pictures of it both as Sideswipe and Red Alert. Weird thing here, and maybe you can detect this on your own, there's no fire department markings on Red Alert.
Yeah.
Like there's no tampography of any kind. It's just like the color area paint operations. I don't know if that's like an intentional choice or this is a non-finalized deco or what's going on here. It's kind of weird because it's not even cartoon accurate that way because the cartoon design had blobby fire department logos and stuff. Also, it just, the robot mode kind of doesn't look good to me.
They look okay. I mean, they're legend scale, so
yeah, there's just something about this that is sitting wrong with me. The face sculpts aren't helping either. I mean, let's be honest there.
I think the face sculpts on this are better than the Bad Cube ones that just got released.
Does Bad Cube do legend scale stuff?
No, they weren't legend scale. They're the actual like masterpiece sized, but I didn't like the face sculpts on them.
Well, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
If you think a legend scale is doing a face sculpt better than a masterpiece scale.
Yeah, I think for legend scale, these faces are actually pretty good.
So yeah, that's going to be a thing coming up at some point in the future. I don't think there's any release information associated with these yet. Following up from that, though, we have from Iron Factory another in their Racing Brothers series, which they're calling this one Annihilator because apparently they couldn't think of any other word at all that starts with A, like alarm.
Yeah.
So this is a Red Alert based on the stylized Sideswipe they did before, which people seem kind of like love or hate about. I don't see a lot in between that.
Yeah, I don't care for this design.
Oh, I like this one.
Yeah, I don't really mind the design that much.
Okay with it.
I actually like it better than the Magic Square one.
Yes. Yeah, no, I absolutely like it better than that. And when I saw this earlier today, I was like, oh, I might actually throw some money at that one.
And I think they actually remembered the fire department markings on this one
there.
too,
Yes.
so that helps a little bit. I actually kind of like this too, though, because like assuming the Magic Square ones are not sold as a 2-pack, you could conceivably get like a Sideswipe from them and get a Red Alert from Iron Factory, and actually, have the two characters, but have them also be a little bit distinct from each other. Options,
Yes.
Of course, the face sculpt styles will clash horribly, but if you're okay with that, I mean, Diecast, what do you think of the face sculpt on this one?
It's okay.
We need Eric for a forearm ruling.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't a movie Optimus. I'm not sure he's qualified to judge forearms aside from that.
That's a good point. We're giving him way too much credit. We shouldn't do that.
His face is hidden in a lot of these shots.
Do what?
His face is hidden in a lot of these shots.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there's some clear pictures of the face in here somewhere.
There's like one or two. It's okay.
Yeah, there's just a lot of pictures.
Yeah, only 20.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a lot for promo photography.
Oh,
Kinda
sure.
has a
I think
snarl on his face.
I think it's the very same face sculpt as the Sideswipe has, though. That would be not
Probably.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like this. I probably won't buy one, but like between the two options for Red Alerts we've been presented with this week, I'm definitely feeling this one a lot more. Of course, it kind of makes sense. Iron Factory is a lot more established than Magic Square.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has
and
Magic Square actually managed to release anything yet?
I think their Grapple just came out,
Okay.
which
Could
is
be.
also Legend scale. But
Yeah.
I could be mistaken. There's so many companies out there now that it could have been someone else's. I'm pretty sure it's Magic Square though.
Yeah, most of Magic Square stuff is Legend scale. I think that one Optimus is the only thing they're doing currently that's actually bigger, which seems weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm expecting third-party companies to like make some kind of logical business sense here. I mean, what's wrong with me?
The other thing is I never heard of Magic Square, and they've never really produced anything, and it's definitely a shrinking market. I would say third party right now instead of the growing market that we had. So it's kind of weird to see another new third party company right now.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, maybe they don't have the best timing with revealing their masterpiece like Optimus, considering version 3.
Yeah, they
Or
probably
maybe
didn't
it
have a
is the
choice,
right
really.
timing.
Yeah, they probably didn't have a choice. It's like, shoot. Well, I guess we've already put money in. We got to do something. So,
Yeah.
Let's see. So the last thing in our news block for this week is we have out-of-box images of the Star Wars powered by Transformers Millennium Falcon set.
Doesn't look bad.
No, I still think if I was going to get one of these, it would probably be the Darth Vader TIE Fighter, but
Yeah.
especially compared to the Hasbro engineered originals, these look pretty good.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, sure. the ship mode looks great. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ship mode looks good.
It does.
And those robots certainly do exist.
Yeah.
And again,
They certainly
they
do
look better.
transform into two robots.
Yeah, as I was going to say, that they do at least look better than the original versions, but
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The ship mode does look really good. They did a lot of deco work on that.
yeah,
Yeah, and I like the face sculpt for the Chewbacca side of the figure, but
Yeah.
I don't know, the Han side's just a little. I mean, human faces
It
and
doesn't-
robots don't always.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
doing much to really call out being Han Solo.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of the problem I'm having with it.
Mhm.
It more just looks like, generic robot face loosely based on like an aviator helmet.
yeah.
Pretty
So
much.
I'm not really seeing a lot of Han Solo in that.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do or need to do out of, robot guy who turns into the Millennium Falcon and is not Chewbacca, but
Who could it be?
yes,
Lando Calrissian?
Well,
Right.
actually, I mean, accurate.
or Ray, yeah,
Ooh. Oh man, now I kind of wish they had done this with like Lando and Ray instead. That'd been awesome.
Or a Chewbacca and a Porg.
yes.
Yes, I want my Porg head half Millennium Falcon robot now.
Yeah,
Thank
that would
you.
have been more fun.
It transforms into the cockpit. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. Little Porg mini con part on this. Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
All right, this worst toy ever. Didn't do the right thing.
Exactly. I know. What were they even trying?
No, obviously not.
Well, speaking of trying, and this is the worst segue I can imagine. Power of the Prime's Predaking is available for pre-order on Amazon. And you can get that and help out the show by going to tfradio.net/Predaking. Is it still at $159.99?
It
Yes.
is. Yes.
Nice.
Darn, I was hoping there'd be a discount.
Well, now Amazon does have a pre-order price guarantee, so if it does go down in price anytime before it actually comes out, which probably unlikely, but after the fact it probably will at some point, you will get that lowest price even if it goes back up before the actual release date. So throw some money there if you can.
Yeah. Every little bit you can do helps the show out. We get a little bit back from every purchase you make through our short links. It doesn't cost you any more money, although, I mean, I think you'd still be okay helping the show out even if it did cost you a little bit more money. Am I right?
Yes.
Also, you can buy shirts to throw money at us. That also helps out the show.
tfradio.net
you get cool
/shirts.
Yes,
Shirt.
tfradio.net/shirts.
And
shirt.
last time I checked, Thermidor is still at or below retail if anybody is still looking for that.
Yeah, it's at about $15, I think.
Yeah, he's there, and of course, now that Chris has Bludgeon and has said such great things about it, I go to look because he's on my wish list, tfradio.net/Kirk or Jason list, and he's back up to almost $20. And I was like, oh, now that I know it's actually a good toy.
Yeah, as I've been following Thermidor and Bludgeon's progress on Amazon, I never saw it get below 18.
I think it briefly dipped down, but not much, like 1789 or something. But yeah,
it stayed within that range pretty thoroughly. But since Jason has just plugged his wish list, some of the rest of us also have Amazon wish lists. Mine is at tfradio.net/Chris list. Diecast, did you ever get one set up for you?
Was I supposed to set it up or Brian? Because if it...
Well, I think it was just that Brian would short link one you already have. Like, that's what the rest of us have set up.
Yeah, so it should be tfradio.net/diecast list.
Well, hopefully.
I'll try it.
Or Brian will make that redirect to Lemon Party or Goatsy or something.
It goes to a 404, so you are wrong, sir.
Excellent. Rob, how about yours?
Mine is tfradio.net/claylist.
That's got a lot of activity around your birthday, too.
Yeah. And Don's is tfradio.net/Massey Attack.
And Matt does not have an Amazon wish list, to my knowledge.
Nope.
And probably John doesn't either. John, do you have a wish list?
Nah.
He doesn't have any wishes.
Yeah, John, if you had a wish, what would it be?
Street Fighter.
Let's see here. That pizza didn't make you fat.
Oh, yeah. How about it?
Wish.
See?
Yeah.
I'm not asking for world peace. I'm just asking for 0-calorie pizza. That's all.
Yeah, see, I was hoping that you would catch on to the theme of the segment here and say that your wish was for people to shop on Amazon using tfradio.net/Amazon, where a small portion of their purchases goes back to keep the show running and the lights turned on and Brian Kilby's marriage from ending in flames and misery. But
maybe
not having pizza is also good.
Yeah. I mean, but pizza, Chris.
tfradio.net/Amazon. Bookmark it. Okay, Rob, what's on T-Formers this week?
Okay, first up, we have got details on the Transformers episode of The Toys That Made Us, and also an announcement for the date that the subject reveal will occur for Season 3, which will be, incidentally, at SDCC. We've also got a report on the 3H BotCon panel at Pete's Robot Convention 2018. And also, they're just posted today, there is a rumor that we're going to get reissues of Masterpiece Ratchet and Ironhide in December of this year, which, if that's true, I kind of think supports a release of Optimus Prime version 3 early in the year, just to get as many, 1984 people back in circulation as possible for the 35th anniversary.
Yeah, because aren't we supposed to be also getting the Anime Colors version of Sideswipe at some point?
I think so, yeah.
We already have that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go.
Was it
I'm not
Anime
sure if
Red
our audience is
Alert?
aware of this, but I don't really pay attention to Masterpiece stuff that much.
Same.
Right there.
Oh, there's your proof. See, now we have to believe what you say, but you can't believe Chris whether or not Submarauder exists.
Because I haven't seen it with my own eyes. So yeah.
I haven't seen Anime Colors Sideswipe with my own eyes either.
The plot thickens.
Stalemate. But the animation colors, well, they're the plus version, which is actually Toy Colors, Megatron, and Shockwave are coming out as exclusives toward the end of the year too. So
I'd like
that
to
would
have
also
that
go
Shockwave,
throughout
but
the-
not for the price they're asking for it.
No.
wasn't that like twice as much as Shockwave came out for originally?
Almost.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I'd kind of like to have that Megatron, except for the part where I'd have to have that Megatron. So I was like, I'm really tickled that they did a toy version of it with a new toy-based face. I wish they'd replaced all of the option faces with toy faces in the same styles.
Yeah, if they turn it into like Browning instead, then that might be something to look into. But
well, again, I'm entertained that it exists, but like from all indications I've ever seen, I don't actually want to ever transform that thing.
Yeah,
I didn't have that much of a problem with it.
But how much time did it take you?
Not bad. Follow the directions. They're pretty straightforward.
Yes, but how much time did it take you?
I didn't time myself, but it wasn't bad.
If it took more than like 4 minutes to transform it from one mode to the other, that's too much of an investment for me.
Jeez.
That's why I won't transform most of the Transformers I own from before like 2013. Like, I like these toys, but at the same time, I gotta like block out space to sit and transform more than a couple of them.
I transformed 2 of them during the show.
Lockdown's not that complicated to transform, and Terradive is just like a joy on basically every level, except for apparently that it has brown plastic syndrome in its poor little spear. But other than that, but man, there's some stuff from that era that is just not fun to deal with on a regular basis. And Megatron's transformation looks a little bit more complicated than I'm willing to invest in. Okay, so our Don for this week is Diecast. I'm sure Don is thrilled with that comparison.
Oh yeah.
So Diecast, what's on the network this week?
There goes my money. 040 hashtags are pound signs. Headmaster Don joins Jason and Diecast to talk about some of their more recent pre-orders since our last episode, including Predaking, the redeco of Masterpiece Megatron, and a re-release of a fantastic third-party Jazz figure. And while Wave 2 of Power of the Primes might be MIA, you can pre-order Wave 3 to give you that perfect one-armed Abominus. Oh, and Jason offers the shill for third-party company. All that and more in this week's on There Goes My Money. We also have RPG Lessons Learned, episode number 60. Jazz Hands, Savage Worlds. In their latest ETU session, Dustin, Brian, and Mike deal with the consequences of their actions through some inspired roleplay. How was your weekend? Episode 36. Setting goals. On this episode, Wendy and Brian finally talk about a topic they've been noodling on for nearly a year, setting goals. Brian will throw to Diecast.
So, Jason, what does Diecast have on his YouTube channel this week?
On his YouTube channel? Good question.
Yeah, at tfradio.net/reviews.
Well, if I bring it up here on the internet.
Week.
Yeah, there's I still see videos
prepared for this throw.
Yes, I still see videos of Wave 3 Prime Masters.
So what you're saying is that Diecast didn't actually do anything this past week.
Pretty much.
Way to go, Diecast.
I did watch Power of the Primes, the Machinima series, and I was going to do my first review on that, but I snuck it into our...
Go ahead, Chris.
All right. So that's been Radio Free Cybertron episode 577. You can find the show notes for this episode and the episode itself at tfradio.net/577. Don't forget to use our voicemail line to leave us messages or to submit questions for It's a Dawn Deal when that comes back in the very near future. You can also send us text messages at that. And all of that happens at 931-99-GOBOT, which is 931-994-6268. John, how's this whole intellectual property minicast thing with Bill Ray going?
Working on it. We're gonna bang out a couple though in our recording session.
Ooh,
cool. Yeah,
that sounds good. So of course you can find the show on Twitter at TF Radio or on Facebook at facebook.com/TF Radio. Brian maintains an Instagram for the show at TF Podcast. Rob Springer can be found at zonebase.org or at Rob Springer. John, where are you?
I'm that John D everywhere.
Everywhere you want to be.
Which is everywhere except Instagram because I'm an old fart.
Well, I was going to say where I was on Twitter, but then John talked over me, so the moment is lost. Melvar is on Twitter at Melvar, Mellvarr. Don't follow him. He doesn't like that. Diecast, where can we find you?
At CRTXVER. I'm sorry, I messed it up.
It's on the screen. Don't worry.
I'm at. I'm on Twitter at Diecast2, on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast, and also on YouTube at RFC Reviews or at tfradio.net/reviews.
Rob?
I am on Twitter at Figure Reviewers and Flailthroughs, also on YouTube at Flailthroughs, where this week we are beginning our playthrough of New Gundam Breaker, which... Just to answer your question from the beginning of the show, I have had 3 separate people, counting my brother and me, say the more I play of this game, the less I like it.
Oh no!
Yeah, they tried to make this like multiplayer thing out of it, as opposed to just making another Gundam Breaker game, and it didn't quite work. On top of which, luckily, they just released a set of bug fixes that they intend to make throughout the next couple of months. And it's, a mile long, so it's probably going to be, not quite the game I wanted, but less of a disaster by the time that they're done with all that.
So in the event someone would like to see you play like a specific mobile suit or something, I don't know, how might they go about that?
They would go to patreon.com/flailthroughs, where a $2 donation will get you a specific mobile suit, and I will do my best to grind parts for it, because this game has made that incredibly difficult. So I'll put it this way. Each individual part, if you want to buy them, costs 50 to 100,000 points. They gifted you with 100,000 points in exchange for the day one patch. For all that I've played so far, my current point total, with having spent nothing, is about 150,000. So yeah, they have an awful lot of work to do on this game. The other project I do want to mention, though, is that the video project I have been working on for the last month or so has finally started to go live at Toy News International. It is a 3-part retrospective on Fisher-Price's Little People toy line, and the first part is up now at toynewseye.com.
Excellent. So, Jason, where are all the places we can find you on the internet?
Well, and I'm prepared now. All the places. How about just one place?
I'm stalling for you.
Thank you. How about all the place, or the one place, which is jasonsskirk.com. Get my social media, my podcasts, my wish list. But also, since I know it's come up on the show, we are this week recording the tunnel scene of Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory this week. So it's coming.
No.
Those of you who've been waiting, it's coming.
Oh no. Brian Kilby, who is not here this week, can be found at bkilby on Twitter, and also probably the Happy Daily or something. I don't really know. BrianKilby.com is probably the thing that works still too. Whatever. I don't really care about Kilby's social media presence. And you can follow Headmaster Don on Twitter at HMRC the number 4 EVR. That's HMRC the number 4 EVR. Guess what that all stands for? Go and send him condolences for all the cat attacks. Or something, I don't know. Tell him how much you like Miracle Whip. I'm sure it'd make his day. Yeah, I know, right? He was commenting yesterday on Twitter how Massey was just like enthralled by this bowl of grapes he had. Well, the natural observation to be made there is that Massey probably has never seen natural food, given that most of Don's diet consists of Velveeta, Miracle Whip, and SpaghettiOs. So Yeah. So I think that'll about do it for us this week. Thanks for watching the show, all 90 minutes of it now. But for an XV show, that's pretty snappy.
It really is.
Yeah. See you next time. Hopefully Kilby will be here and I won't.
Bye, everyone.
Diecast failed sabotage. Oh man. That oh cool. Don's in the chat and he's commented worst Don ever to like taking the role.
I didn't know
I
it was
like Jared-
Don.
I also like Jared Hebert's comment about the Amazon plug. That plug went dark pretty quick.
Yep.
Oh, so we have a question for post show
Ooh.
from Jared Hebert. If you could bring any 3 concepts, gimmicks, toy patterns back for a future Transformers toy line, what would they be and why?
Headmasters.
I mean, they've
Minicons.
covered a few of them.
Yeah, just like make Armada again, basically.
Yeah.
Combiners. There's still a couple we don't have.
Yeah.
Except it'd be a kind of sad shrunken Armada based on what they can actually do now.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I mean, like, Minicons is usually my reflexive answer for, like, what gimmick do I want to see brought back, despite that Rob makes a good point about how they've never had the same interactivity at the same level.
Yeah.
I know the
Although-
one that is coming back, Micromasters, because they keep shrinking, so eventually they're just going to be Micromasters.
Battle Trap, the Battle Trap redo in Power of the Primes kind of makes me think, like, you know, if they went back to Energon style combining, we could probably actually get some good toys out of that now. At least if they limited themselves to, like, you know, this toy is bottom only, this toy is top only, and not have them have to do both, because that was, I think that's what hurt a lot of the Energon Autobot Deluxes.
Yeah.
Hey, Mickey made an interesting observation when we were hanging out on Monday. Like, when's the last time we had, like, spring-loaded missile launchers be, like, a thing across a line?
Man, remember the
Why?
decade those were completely inescapable for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of wouldn't mind seeing that again, although I don't super miss having missile launchers.
Yeah. It's just a
Yeah.
piece. It's
I
just a
always
piece.
lost the missile.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was about to say it's just a piece I cared about very little that I wound up losing. So
Yeah, just extra stuff that's eventually going to fly off somewhere. Remember your Thunderwing incident?
yes, both of them.
Wait, did it happen more than once?
No, but Thunderwing happened more than once because I couldn't find the missile and I needed to take photos.
Well, yes, I was considering the Thunderwing incident as, you know, the one where you lost the missiles, not the replacement one then subsequently.
Yeah. But yes, I do, because that spare Thunderwing is still sitting by my desk.
Another thing I would like to see again, I think, is the mech tech weapons from Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
I like the ones that could actually hold their open position.
Yeah.
Yes.
They weren't
Yeah,
bad.
I would want to see them done without springs. Like, yeah, have them be gear and lever driven, but without the springs, they could actually, like, hold their open position more easily.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I'm having trouble thinking of particular, like, design features I'm missing seeing.
G2. Just
That's
bright
not
colors.
really a design feature as such.
More design philosophy, I would say.
A way of life, perhaps.
Yeah. Yes. It's not quite another take on Action Masters, but I would not mind to see like a Marvel Legends scale size series of non-transforming 6-inch figures at this point. Well, scale's the wrong word, but let's say sized.
Right. Scale is always the wrong word.
Yeah, pretty much.
Although on that subject, I wouldn't mind seeing Spy Changers again.
Yes. Yeah, that could work.
Mm-hmm.
That's from the Revenge of the Fallen line, right?
No.
No, that's a little too late for those by about a decade.
Yeah, I think the molds were already disintegrated by then.
Probably.
Hello.
So how did the whole Discord thing end up turning out? So Jared Hebert would pick Target Masters, Energon Weapons, and Energon Combiners. Energon Weapons is a gimmick I don't feel like ever really... It didn't really capitalize on what it could have been.
Yeah.
Something in the same vein as that I think worked out a little bit better was the third wave, I think, Fall of Cybertron Deluxes, where the Ultra Magnus and the Air Raid had the multi-piece weapons that could be configured together in different combinations.
Yeah.
So that lended a lot of play value to those toys and was a really interesting way to take those designs. And it wasn't something that was ever really followed up on strongly in any other figures. There, like the Fall Cybertron Combaticons had something slightly along that line where you could take the individual weapons from all of those deluxes and could clutch them together in different ways. I made a power blaster out of them. Makes a good point about how they for Combaticon Sentai, but like I would like to see something like that again, where you would get multi-piece weapons that can be not just turned into one specific kind of assembled weapon, but like built many different ways. I think that would be more interesting. That's kind of like what Arms Microns were doing, from what I understand of those. They had a lot of pegs and ports, and you could plug them together different ways, and they advertised like various combinations of them as being super weapons and stuff like that. I'd like to see something like that, probably, but without the fiddliness of Arms Microns.
Yeah.
No, Jason, that would be Diecast's ego with an apostrophe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Huh? For the show title. That's the whole premise of the joke.
Bandai killed Toys R Us. Yeah, I like that.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, well, let's do a remake of Golden Girls with Sue Blue. That'd be perfect. Don would totally watch that. Rodimus Supreme is thanking me, but I'm not sure why. I hope it's because I said something bad about Diecast. Yeah, the Spy Changers were from Car Robots and Robots in Disguise, but were originally the G2 GoBots.
Yeah.
With the Robots in Disguise line, Hasbro actually engineered new molds and also pulled out some previously unreleased ones to bolster the ranks of the 6 that Car Robots used. Because apparently that price point did really well for them, considering they kept reusing those molds over and over and over again through 2005 or 2006, basically until they fell apart.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a sign of some of the success of Car Robots and Robots in Disguise. There are several molds that were rendered completely inviable because they ran them so many times. The 3 deluxe Autobot cars are gone forever unless they re-engineer those molds. The Spy Changers are all gone. We assume a lot of the Armada Minicons are probably also gone at this point because of extensive use. I don't think we have word one way or another about that, but we do know for sure, some of those Robots in Disguise things are just completely dead.
I would not be surprised if the Supercon Optimus Prime mold is dead at this point, just because every release I got of it past the first one had the head tilting permanently slightly to the left.
Yeah, and I think every release after Armada also had it assembled wrong, too, in one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a fair bit of stuff there for a while that they were just running into the ground.
Yeah.
I agree with Rodimus Supreme. Most problem I see with Energon Deluxe Autobots is the top half's arms. I have trouble thinking of one that has those good. Inferno, maybe, but that's just because it's only using the regular robot mode's arms as the super robot's arms.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cheating.
Yeah. And Inferno was probably, despite being totally immobile, his legs was probably the best looking in both modes.
Yeah, it probably struck the best balance. Now, Energon Rodimus actually made a good set of pants.
Yeah.
But it was pretty much a disaster at the top.
God, yes.
See, that's one design I would have liked to see redone in Generations. Rodimus Prime as a racing semi-cab.
Yeah.
Oh. Like as a Voyager or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because that to me strikes me as a natural evolution of super sports car thing. So that turns into a Prime. It's a jet engine propelled semi-cab. It's perfect. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Also, it's a semi-cab propelled by a jet engine. There's nothing not to love there.
Yeah.
Chat, please respond. There we go. That was not wanting to scroll or take text or anything. Better now.
So what do you think Hasbro will do in the worst Cybertron trilogy for characters whose Cybertron uniforms were never shown in G1? They're gonna make them up.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for some of it, I think they would probably pull from sources like the High Moon video games, take inspiration from there.
Sure.
But I mean, it's also fairly a blank canvas because we only did see a few of the classic characters in their alternate modes on Cybertron in the cartoon.
Do you think they'd go crazy and just do a whole bunch of new characters, kind of like Beast Wars-esque, or?
I wish.
Yeah.
But they love 84, so
yes.
Probably not.
They even have shirts.
Every once in a while, they do add a new character to 84, but
which
not
I love.
Not nearly at the rate I would like them to.
I think they've loved 84 enough.
See, here's the thing: like Bandai with Gundam, they will just keep on pumping in new stuff into the same 4-month period of 1 year for the 1 year war. And so now there's been 800 different mobile suit designs that took place between September whatever and December 31st of that year somehow. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Hasbro is like, okay, it's been 3 years, let's put another new G1 character in the mix.
Yes.
I'd like them to both be kind of in the middle there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, at this point, Bandai could just stop. I think we have enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eclissus says, looking forward to War for Cybertron. Been collecting Planet X figures. I'm let's say cautiously interested. There's some stuff, if they do it right, I would like to see adapted into a toy form. There's been a few different takes on Tetrajets by third parties, none of which has really struck me quite right. What's the the third party, what? Yeah, those. Good job, Diecast. Theirs looks interesting, but it's also not exactly a Tetrajet either.
Yeah. Which, at that point, if you want interesting and inspired by, but not actually it, you may as well just get Cybertron Starscream, because that was a pretty nice toy.
I really like Cybertron Starscream. I would really see that. I want to get Galaxy Meteor at some point because it's that design, but more posable.
Yeah.
Because the Cybertron one did have kind of a lack of posability, but that's the thing. I want to see what Hasbro's take is on that now, using that specific thing as a base. Because for one thing, I would be amazed to see how they would engineer something like that. and not have it just be a joke in one mode or the other, which I'm not ruling out. But I also want to see, like, armored minivan Wheeljack and, like, little flying saucer Bumblebee. Like, I want to see some of that stuff executed as toys. I just have concerns.
I'm kind of wondering with these Micromaster / Battle Master, sets of minifigures that it looks like we're getting for the smaller size classes. I'm just wondering if one of those is going to be a little, like, play set that we can attach a lamppost Soundwave to.
I'm hoping for a decent Shockwave since he only ever had a Cybertronian design.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want some pants. A decent pair of pants!
That would also be a good line.
Sometimes that just comes to me.
That would also be a good line to do a Titan class Omega Supreme in, actually.
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn down Omega Supreme.
Me either.
Unicron.
Well, that wouldn't make any sense in a pre
covered this.
setting.
You already have your Unicron.
Yep, you got him.
Yeah, it's called Rodimus Unicronus.
Not good enough.
You didn't even know what
too
power
bad.
you
No,
were wielding.
No. You asked for it. You got
Yeah,
it. You
you
were
got
not specific enough. That's
Diecast.
your fault.
Diecast, you got Unicron made. You just should have been more observant of the monkey's paw.
Yep, exactly.
Because
I'm really glad I got
him
him though, because if I would have found out he was Unicron, and I still couldn't find him, I would have been mad.
Oh
Yeah.
man!
Oh, that would have been great.
And then Chris can find 2 of them.
And not buy you any of them.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just at Walmart. I'm actually halfway home, but hey, they had Rodimus Unicronus.
Well, no, I would wait until that Wednesday and say, I was in a Walmart like 6 or 7 days ago, and they had that. But you might want to know.
What
didn't
happened
buy
there?
it.
Like Hasbro signed off on them using the wrong name of the toy. Like, oh yeah, that's fine. You can call it whatever you want.
They don't care
Like,
what's going on.
They got all the other names right.
It could be the case that they, for whatever reason, could not or did not want to trademark Rodimus Kron and changed it at the last minute.
Probably because it's a terrible name.
Yeah, there's that.
No, Rodimus Kron was the small one,
Oh, okay.
and then Rodimus Unicronus should have been the large one, but they changed it to Unicron in the show.
Okay.
He was Rodimus Kron until he evolved up, and then he was Unicron.
Yeah, they probably just wanted to keep the toy identity more straightforward than that.
Yeah.
I mean, because originally in the beginning they explained how Megatronus killed Unicron or severely damaged Unicron with the Requiem blaster, and now Unicron has come back through. It's like an evil matrix. I forget what they call it.
Well, there's all kinds of evil matrices.
Yeah,
Yes.
but the evil matrix that, and I still don't totally understand where they're going with it because
They don't either, don't worry.
Megatronus was the one who recruited Overlord, and Overlord is the one who put that dark energon type matrix of leadership into Rodimus for him to become Rodimus Kron, who then became Unicron. So they kind of created the person that they killed. I don't get it. I don't. There's some gappage there in the story writing.
What? That never happens in these series. How dare you besmirch them?
So Jared Hebert has an idea I like. For Neo G1, he wants to see a good animated inspired bulkhead.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty happy with the second Transformers Prime bulkhead as a stand-in for like a classics grouping. The style's close enough for me, but like I absolutely get wanting something that's like purpose designed for that role.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not sure that the Mass Toys Tetra Jets are masterpiece size. I'm not sure. I feel like there was something I heard once that made it seem like they were going to be more Voyager size.
No, I
It
think
could
they're
be.
masterpiece size.
All I know for a fact is the reason they're doing like the Kickstarter for it or whatever it's not Kickstarter, but whatever they're doing is because they're so much more intricate than what they've been doing, and they want to do them. So that's why they're doing it that way. Like the designer went and came back is like, I came up with this, and they're like, oh my god, that's awesome. We can't do that.
Yeah, hopefully we see enough of, like, if they reveal War for Cybertron stuff at SDCC, hopefully we see enough of it where
it's gonna be a Bumblebee and an Optimus Prime. Here they are.
No, even better. It's gonna be Bumblebee's foot, but it's gonna be the foot for like a deluxe figure.
You've got his leg right here.
Yep. And then Chris can get out his ruler and compare it to something else like he
What
did
if the
with...
reason they only showed off Trypticon's leg at that Comic-Con was because it wrenched itself apart trying to attach it to the actual figure?
We turned it and it popped right off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, we
that's
just
terrible.
destroyed this one-of-a-kind prototype. Just throw away the rest of the dinosaur and we'll go with this.
No, they would just staple it back on. And then hold that side away from the camera.
Hot glue guns.
Yeah. I'm sure, well, just given the size of that leg socket, it's probably hard to find, 73 hot glue sticks on short notice at Comic-Con.
Yeah, probably. Eclipses, I didn't really like how the Planet X Seekers turned out. Like, between those and the Hasbro Deluxes, something about the proportions on the Planet X ones just didn't seem right to me, especially in the jet modes. They seemed, like, weirdly elongated and the wings were too far back.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that. When Don got his, because he got the clear Starscream exclusive at TFCon, I looked at it, I was like, now they're Optimus? Oh my god. I look at that thing like once a month.
Yeah,
like,
it's cool
I
looking.
gotta get this.
Well, and I liked the way the Planet X Dinobots turned out looking, too.
Oh, and Vulcan, of course. Like, I probably do bad things to people for Vulcan.
Jason, that's so illogical. No, but like I don't know if the Planet X Seekers might be more accurate to what the game models look like, but just in terms of interpretation versus interpretation, I'm happier with the Hasbro ones in this case.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing the Hasbro Fall of Cybertron Seeker mold like get upscaled to Voyager, keeping the same build and proportions.
Yeah, I was fine with the Hasbro ones. I didn't.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
That's really the Devastator head.
Yep.
Oh, it lights up.
Yep. They gave me the old head too. This is the newer head.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that, Jason.
Well, if he hadn't been over at the same time.
And then here's the older head, which is like the screaming head.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the newer one better. I was never too keen
Yeah.
on that screaming head.
What, no Prowl head? Worst toy ever.
I kind
Taking us
of
back to 2015.
yes,
Yeah.
I kind of like that the new head has two individual eyes but lights up like it's a visor. I don't know if that was intentional or just a function of the
Oh no, there's a visor there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just,
I like that one much better.
over his nose. It's not really showing that well.
Yeah.
Until it lights up.
Oh man. So Diecast, if you had to guess, yet again,
Nice.
how much did we put into this on Taobao?
300?
I mean, considering the retail is like 6, that's not bad.
Yeah. It's probably like 215, and then maybe like $60-$70 shipped.
And I know the one knockoff company is doing pretty much direct knockoffs of them.
Not over the Toyworld.
Was it?
The
I thought they were doing
Gravity Builder. They are.
Oh, Generation
Oh, okay.
Toy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had him confused in my head. Yeah. No, you're right.
Toyworld is the one where
Yeah.
he comes with just an extra piece,
Which I think is
his-
fine because it looks good, you know? I mean, it's a combiner, so therefore it is a parts former anyways. And it's a good way to make, some of the figures not look terrible.
Yeah, it makes him look that much bigger too.
Yeah.
Matt, you look really tired.
Yeah, I have to go back to work tomorrow, sadly.
Oh,
You should go to bed.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. It is 10 o'clock, so.
Yeah.
Well, if Matt's leaving, I guess we can probably kill the old stream too.
Yeah, we've had almost half an hour of post show here. I think that's pretty good for tonight.
yeah.
Yeah.
So live stream audience, thank you for watching and hanging out with us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You've been fun as always.
Thank you.
Very tolerant.
Yes.
Yes, it was a good night in the
Live
chat.
Diecast.
And I just realized I'm waving even though no one can see.
Thank you for not killing me.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Hi, guys.
Alrighty, goodbye, Twitch.
Yeah, can you actually shut down YouTube, or does Brian have to come back and do that?
Well, we'll find out. And goodbye, maybe YouTube.